Welcome back to Road to Fire. We're a family of three documenting our journey to fire, financial independence, retire early. Let's chat about our April 2021 budget. I will share all our real numbers, details on our budget, and outline our expected expenses for the month like always, so please hang with me. Now, we made adjustments to my 401k contributions to hit our goal of maxing out both our 401ks, which will be a first for us. My husband just started his new job and will make adjustments once his first check comes through later this week. We are about 4% behind from where we need to be, but I'm not worried. And I didn't realize the benefits of maxing out your 401k until I read the book Choose FI. Contributing to your 401k reduces your tax burden, which is definitely beneficial for us in the long run. Because we are making adjustments to our 401k contributions, our take-home pay has been impacted, and our budget will continue to evolve over time, so expect changes in the coming weeks. So there are 5 common ways to budget, or 5 ways which we've budgeted in the past. There is no right or wrong way to budget, but find a system or process that works best for you and your future financial goals. The first way is the 50-30-20 rule, which is the form of budgeting I used right out of college. It divided your income into 3 sections: 50% to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings or debt payments. Number 2 is what we use right now, and that's a zero-based budget. It makes you account for every dollar that comes into your accounts. Your income minus your savings and expenses equals out to 0, hence the name. Number 3 is the envelope system. This type of budgeting is a way to track exactly how much money you have in each budget category for the month by keeping your cash tucked away in envelopes. I believe this was made famous by Dave Ramsey, but you can also do this digitally. Number 4 is the no budget budget, and it's an easy way to limit your spending by automating most of your expenses and savings targets. Essentially, you don't need to track because it's all done automatically. All your bills and savings are set, and whatever is left is open for you to spend. And the last way to budget is app-based. You can use EveryDollar, Mint, YNAB, Honeydew, and so forth, as there are many budgeting apps available now. Some are free and others you'll need to pay for. This is a great way to budget as it's not as manual as the other formats. I'm curious to know, how do you budget right now? Comment below and let me know. We use the zero-based budget method, but it's also like the no budget budget. Because all of our savings and expenses are automated, we really only focus on our wants spending. We have bi-weekly check-ins just to help us stay on track for the remainder of the month, and it helps us make adjustments if needed. But I'm not going to lie, in the first 2 weeks of the month, I am 100% on top of our spending and really conscious on how I use my dollars. But after our mid-month check-in, if we're on track, I kind of loosen up a bit. So let's review our projected income for the month. I'm happy to finally get some consistent side hustle income each month. I didn't want a side hustle that took me out of my home, and I'm happy to find one that is finally working well for me and my schedule. I'm looking into a few other avenues, but we'll share once I have good enough traction. Our income has been hovering around $14,000 a month, and that has been consistent through Q1. I do expect our income to decrease over time as we continue to push our investing goals for the year. So here's our April income report. Our W-2 is over 87% of our income and has been slightly decreasing over time, which is great. We are still heavily weighted in our jobs, but I'm building new streams of income and it takes time. My take-home pay has decreased, but there is still a 3-pay period month for my husband. So this is the last month with higher than normal income unless our side hustles pick up, which is totally possible. So here are the details. Our W-2 income is about $12,367, and that represents after 401k and HSA contributions. I did increase my 401k contributions as my husband's income increased to balance things out. It's a great way to make sure you're not changing your lifestyle when more income comes in. We have no planned bonuses this month, so that will be at 0. And our passive income for this month includes mainly YouTube, Google AdSense, and our rental income. This month is expected to be around $1,510, which is a small increase from last month. Now, side hustle income is now at $275, and I will outline our strategy here in another video, but in March I made over $250 from surveys alone. So our total expected income for April will be about $14,152, which is lower than March. Whenever our income decreases, we do reevaluate our expenses and make adjustments as needed. But we rarely touch our investments and saving plans overall. Now let's look over our expected expenses for April. We did have a few new expenses in April, so our budget is a bit different this month. As the weather gets better and COVID-19 precautionary steps are taken, we are looking forward to getting back to some sort of normalcy. The way we've been budgeting the last 12 months doesn't truly depict how we live our lives, and we use that time to get our finances in a great place. Now, we don't plan on splurging and spending all of our money frivolously like before, but we are now more comfortable going on patios, having drinks with friends, going out for date nights, and some of those adjustments you'll find in our budget, but nothing crazy overall. So here's our April expense report or budget. Our top 5 categories this month have not changed. I shared our debt-free journey progress, and you can see that card payments is still a top 5 expense for us, but I can't wait to free up this money soon. So our savings rate this month is planned to be around 43%, and our savings strategy or breakout didn't change from last month either. We will send 78% towards our brokerage accounts, 5% to my son's UTMA, and the rest to our IRAs. Overall, our total expenses are just under $14,100 for this month. So let's get into the details. We did add a few new categories this month. Savings, like always, would be our first priority, and we plan to send $6,000 even this month. We are on track for our annual goals due to a hiccup we had last month that kind of put us a little bit ahead. Next is our mortgage payment at $2,100. Our county taxes finally came in, and our monthly payment should decrease by about $150 a month, but I'm still waiting for my lender to make the adjustments. Nothing new here. We are Christians and believe in tithing 10% of our income while investing and paying off debt. This is an expense we don't budge on. We will be sending $1,415 to our churches and charities within our community. Our childcare expenses are pretty much fixed month over month as well. We'll be spending about $1,256 this month, and this includes his swim lessons, daycare for 3 days, as well as a small buffer for toys or crafts he might need for school. Now, I'm always shocked for all the little things that my 3-year-old needs for preschool. For card payments, we plan to send $1,000 to Chase. This is the norm for us, but we have also pledged to send any incremental income to debt this month, so I expect this to increase as well. And I will shift any other leftover money from other categories just to make sure we're on track for our debt-free journey. So medical expenses are new for us. We do have an HSA, but we don't use it for medical expenses, although we do keep the receipts for everything. I have 2 appointments with 2 specialists that I know will only be covered about 80% by my insurance, so I expect to pay about $375 in medical costs this month. So our utility bills will be about $315. This will include gas, electricity, cell phones, and internet for the month. Our electricity bill has finally come down to a reasonable amount due to the weather finally getting better. So a small increase in our groceries. We plan to spend $305 this month, as this is where we've been averaging in the first quarter of the year. My husband's new job is back in the office, so he has been meal planning and prepping more than before. So I'm excited for this new line item. I am planning a birthday weekend getaway for May. We have not decided where we want to go yet, but because we have thousands in airline credits, we are only budgeting for the Airbnb expense this month, and that would be around $270. Now, household includes dish soap, hand soap, toiletries, cleaning supplies, but it also includes home repair items. We are getting a new storm door, painting my son's room, and adding trim in a few places, so we budgeted around $220 for this month. Our entertainment line has finally increased. We each get $75 to spend on whatever we want, and then we also include our monthly books we buy, secondhand of course, but still physical copies. My husband and I are also planning to read a book together, so we added that in the budget as well. And we do have 1 Netflix subscription. We plan to spend about $175 on restaurants, and that's an increase from last month. As the weather has gotten better, and I'm finally okay with my parents babysitting my son, we are finally having more date nights, and it's been really great to finally have a few hours just for us. So gym expense is a new one for us this month. We haven't had a gym membership for over a year, and we used to go to LA Fitness pre-COVID. My husband wants to try CrossFit, so the $155 is going towards that. Now, I'm a runner, so I don't need a gym, and I use free YouTube fitness videos that kick my butt weekly. Car gas is at $120, and that's probably more than needed, but my husband does drive to work daily, but it's only a 20-minute commute, so not bad overall. Now, my son needs new clothes and shoes, so I will try to thrift them, but if I can't, I'll probably revert to Target if I can't find all the things he needs. So the plan is to spend around $85 on those items. Both my brother and brother-in-law have a birthday in April, and we budgeted $30. Now, it seems low, but I'm getting them both a cutting board, which is kind of an inside joke. And our business expense stays the same at about $20, and I only have 2 subscriptions to pay for, so not really much changes on this month over month. So total expenses for April is around $14,061. Small buffer again this month, but I'm not concerned as I can flex some expenses here and there. So here's our 2021 after-tax savings rate tracker. We have a target to be around 50% for the year. February was a fluke as I overset money towards our brokerage account due to not adjusting my automatic transfer dates in time within Vanguard. For March, we ended up with a savings rate over 49.5%. Again, this was higher than expected because of the additional income I got via my bonus. Now for April, we are projected to have a savings rate around 43%, which is below our target, but I'm not 100% worried about it. Our overall average right now is around 47.5%. But the more incremental income we make, the higher our savings rate will be moving forward. Okay, here are my financial goals for April. I hit none of my goals in March, so we'll just cancel that month and we'll move forward. First goal is to give to 3 new organizations. Thank you to here and on IG. I found 3 new organizations that I want to donate to. It's just following through on it. I appreciate those who reached out with amazing nonprofits they support, so thank you overall for the messages. Number 2 is to get a part-time job. Now, I applied to a few remote jobs that have about 5 to 10 hours a week, and I'm hoping to hear back from them soon. So that is a goal to help us increase some of our side hustle income. Now, number 3 is the same every month, and it won't be changing. Last month, I brought in about $500 if you include YouTube income, so I hope in April that I'll be able to finally hit this goal. Okay, number 4 is a new pivot for me. I'm really looking for a financial mentor. I'm not sure how I'll go about finding one in a remote setting, but I will tap into my network, step out of my comfort zone, and hopefully set up a few informational interviews in April. I'm really hoping to meet someone in real estate or a real estate investor within my state who can help provide some insights for us as we continue to build a small portfolio. Now, I wanted to have a different or more meaningful goals this year, so I'm excited to see how this month fares out. Check out my updates on IG if you're curious to see how things are going throughout the month, as I always post on my stories with details and receipts along the way. Now, I'm working on a Q1 review to share our progress. We have 5 big goals for the year, and I feel we are in a good place so far. It's these monthly budgets that keep us on track for our quarterly, annual, and our overall fire goals. It's so important to check in on your goals. Our goals are on our fridge and phones. We set up reminders to make sure we are still focusing on the big picture day to day. I've grown to love budgeting because I see how much it helps us reach our overall financial goals. I no longer see budgeting as restricting as we adjust and flow with the changes in our life. So take a minute and review your goals. Stay on top of them. Now, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Until next time.